Hello, I'm Trevor Coley, founder and designer of Sontronics microphones, and I'm here to tell you about the Delta 2 ribbon microphone. The Delta 2 was developed over a period of years following the original model, which was launched in 2007. The Delta 2 was always designed originally for guitar amplifiers. It has an incredibly high SPL handling capability, but still delivers all of that natural classic tone that you'd expect to hear from a ribbon, which generally is a high frequency roll-off that starts around sort of 5 to 7 kilohertz and then continues down, giving this incredibly intimate sound, essentially because it's not picking up lots of room reflections and harmonics bouncing back. Now, the Delta 2 model that we introduced in 2018 was a significant upgrade to the original. We'd spent a lot of time working on the electronics, the circuit design, which is all proprietary, and improved the model by using the highest grade electronic components we could find available. Adding to that, we had a handmade, hand-wound transformer made locally in Poole in Dorset in England, where our factory is based. And that, coupled with the electronic circuit and the original transducer, the ribbon element inside the Delta, that package transformed the original product into something quite spectacular. And to explain the difference, essentially the components and the new transformer enabled the frequency response to be almost linear from 45 hertz up to around 9 kilohertz, which is frankly unheard of for a ribbon mic. Ultimately, what this allows, when you're considering, for example, a guitar amplifier, a very high output, very high sound pressure level, SPL, what we want to consider is the actual frequencies that we're recording here. And in fact, we're recording the guitar speaker. It's the amplifier speaker that we're picking up, and perhaps a little bit of the room environment as well. Now, an instrument like a guitar, any stringed instrument, any bowed instrument, whatever it might be, is all subject to the expression from the artist, the player themselves. And if the microphone's frequency response has peaks or troughs along the way, this affects the output levels at the different frequencies. So, for example, if you're playing an arpeggio on your guitar and you start at a low E and you end up in a mid E or a high E, but you haven't changed the velocity of your picking or finger picking, but suddenly you hear a note leap out or a sudden dip in output, then that's a result of the microphone's output and frequency response directly affecting the sound. The beauty of the Delta is this linearity across the frequency bandwidths means that all of your expression is reproduced entirely accurately. So what you hear is what you are playing, and this is the winner. This is what makes the Delta 2 one of the leading ribbon microphones on the marketplace. Now, we mentioned the high sound pressure handling. This is really important also for instruments like brass. So if you're thinking about trumpets, trombones, euphoniums, even tubas, huge amounts of sound pressure, air pressure leave the bell of those instruments. And a lot of ribbon microphones struggle with that first blast of air. Now, the Delta has an internal pop filtering and screening that takes away that initial blast of air, but maintains all of the energy that you're getting from the instrument. Plus also, it's still responding only to the signals that are coming in and not picking up too much of the room around it, which gives you a very intimate sound and a very accurate sound. So this is where ribbon microphones really come into their own, and specifically mics like this, which they're phantom powered, which is quite uncommon or less common as it was in the past. Original phantom powered mics came into the industry maybe sort of 30, 40 years ago with an external preamplifier box. But we managed to miniaturize a circuit, effectively an amplifier circuit within the mic itself, which means that you can plug this into any audio interface, any mixing console, any preamplifier, and you don't need huge amounts of gain to get a great signal out. This means you've got high headroom, so no distortion with high transient peaks. And it also means that you've got far less noise coming from that preamplifier circuit. So it's a win-win all round, a product developed specifically for modern day digital recording and engineering. So we hope you get a chance to try the mic out and enjoy it. Thanks very much for listening.